There's so many things to talk about. As you already know, if you haven't been on Twitter, if you haven't been on Facebook or any type of social media, we have locked up Eric Armstead to a 5-year deal worth 85 million, 40 million guaranteed, about 17 million per year. But when you do something like that, unfortunately, something has to give. And so we signed Eric Armstead, and unfortunately, we traded DeForest Buckner to the Colts. So today's show, I want to talk about this trade, keeping Eric Armstead. I want to get your opinions. I want to get your thoughts on this. I know that you have a lot of mixed emotions. Myself, I am wearing Eric Armstead's jersey. I'm a big Eric Armstead guy. I like the idea that we kept Eric Armstead and we signed him to a what you want to call friendly deal. 17 million doesn't sound like a friendly deal, but keep in mind in the open market he would have been worth much, much more in the open market. Other teams would have paid him much more than 17 million. So he definitely gave us a discount. What's going on, Paul Steele? Welcome to the show, brother. Here where we're going to be talking. What's up, Jason Morales? How you doing, brother? Yeah, it is a sad day to hear the D4 is gone, but I want to hear your guys' comments. Hey, Kimo, how you doing, brother? Welcome. I want to get your guys' thoughts. Hey, Deborah, welcome. Deborah, welcome. I want to get your thoughts, honestly. What would you thought of? What did you, if you were the GM, what would have been the better deal? Keeping DeForest Buckner at $21 million a year, where with anywhere with 80 to 90 million guaranteed, and a possible third round compensatory pick for Armstead by trading him, or keeping Eric Armstead at 17 million a year and only 40 million guaranteed, which is friendly, cap friendly, and gaining, gaining 12 million in cap space for Buckner and getting a 13 overall pick in the first round. What's up, Kyle Benson? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. What's up, Gus Hernandez? How you guys doing? Give me 1 second. I apologize. Give me a second real quick, guys. I apologize for this. Let's see. Everybody's coming in with their thoughts. I love it. Let me just put this out on another social media platform, and I will start. I'll begin to read your questions. Give me a second, guys. Thank you for participating. You guys are awesome. Here we go. Perfect. So yes. So we keep Eric Armstead at 17 million per year, and we gain a 13 overall pick. And I want to talk to you guys about that 13 overall pick. Who do you think we should get with that pick? Should we go receiver? Should we go corner? The draft just got more exciting, man. Let me read some questions here real quick. Jason Morales says, I mean, we have the 13th and the 31st pick. Absolutely. And we have 12 million free cap space for not picking up the 6-year option on DeForest Buckner. My boy Callum Benson, how you doing? A big Minnesota Vikings fan. What's up, brother? Miss you, buddy. 2 years extension for Kirk. Your thoughts? Well, as a Niner fan, I'm glad that you guys extended the Kirk Cousins deal, because as you guys have been hearing a bunch of crap about Jimmy Garoppolo not being liked by Kyle Shanahan, bull crap, and is Tom Brady coming to the Niners? is Kirk Cousins coming to the Niners. And now, you know what, we can put all that to rest. We can put all that to rest. Jimmy Garoppolo isn't going anywhere. Jimmy Garoppolo is our quarterback of the present and future. The kid played one complete year, and he took us to the Super Bowl. Okay? People, come on, Niner faithful. You guys gotta, I know you guys want the big names like the Tom Brady. Oh my God, Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls. He can come to the Niners and, you know, we can. Listen, Tom Brady is not the same Tom Brady that won those 6 Super Bowls. Tom Brady couldn't even get past the first wild card game against the Tennessee Titans. Get out of here with the Tom Brady crap. And the Kirk Cousins, he is starting to pick up that chemistry and that offense with the Vikings. You know, I don't know what's going to happen with Stephon Diggs. I've been hearing rumors that he's going to be leaving the Vikings, but they still have Adam Thielen over there in Minnesota. They still have their tight end, Cooks, their running back. So I'm glad for the Minnesota Vikings. I'm glad that they signed Kirk Cousins. I'm pretty sure a lot of Viking fans are not too happy about it. I'm not a big believer in Kirk Cousins. I never have been. Personally, I mean, the guy can play. He can ball. But Kirk Cousins chokes. I mean, he chokes just way too much on good game. I mean, he had one good game against the Saints, and everybody's about to crown him. I don't know. I wish you guys the best, Kyle, up in Minnesota. Guess Hernandez says, I'd rather have kept Buckner, but I understand the money side. I'm still pissed, though. Yeah, I guess. I hear you. DeForest Buckner is arguably a better player than Eric Armstead. But Eric Armstead, you can play him defensive end, you can play him at D tackle. You can arguably say, yes, DeForest Buckner can be played in as well, but he was usually more at defensive tackle. Now, is he going to be missed? Absolutely. Is DeForest Buckner going to be missed in that front? If you don't think his presence is going to be missed, you are ludicrous. We're going to feel that impact. But we do have Dee Ford, Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, 3 top flight pass rushers. Okay? That takes a little bit of the sting. Now, let's say we got rid of Buckner and we didn't have a Dee Ford and we didn't have a Nick Bosa. Then I would be frustrated. Then I would be truly, completely, ludicrously upset of trading DeForest Buckner. What are you doing? He's the best player. But we have Dee Ford now. We have the upcoming young stud and Nick Bosa. We have Eric Armstead that's proven that he can play. Listen, when we brought Nick Bosa in, the player that was elevated to do better was Eric Armstead. Okay? Eric Armstead took more advantage of Nick Bosa than DeForest Buckner did, in my opinion. Let me continue to read the questions, guys. Let's see here. Paul Steele says, it's sad to see Buckner go, but we had to pay Kittle. So it's either Buckner or Kittle. That made the decision. They made the right decision. Excuse me. Yes, they did. I love me Buckner. Yes, I do. Listen to this, guys. This is my opinion. Buckner is an elite player, but Kittle is a game changer. Listen to me carefully, guys. DeForest Buckner is an elite player, but George Kittle is a game changer type of player. You want to sign Kittle to a long-term contract. Absolutely. If I had to choose between DeForest Buckner or Kittle 10 times over. My personal opinion. And I love me Buckner. Don't get me wrong. Lewis, what's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome to the Niners Sickness Podcast Show. Your question is, glad we got a number one pick. We got the 13th overall pick. Not bad. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, the Niners got gypped. The Colts should have gave the Niners the 13 overall, and maybe a second or third round. Yes, but man, draft picks are high commodity. They're not easy to just gain. I mean, we went from the 31st to let's see who we can get to now being in the 13th spot where we can get a Judy, a CC Lamb, or what do you call it? One of the receivers. I can't remember their names right now, but a top flight receiver or a top flight corner that we can pair up with Sherman in the backfield. And then go and get a safety at 31. So now we can get a corner at 13 and a safety at 31, and we really help out our back side of the field. So there's a lot of things we can do, amen. Let's see here. Right. Jason Morales says, if we would pay D Buck that $21 million, it would have been real hard to sign Kittle. Oh yeah. What people don't realize is that DeForest Buckner just wanted way too much money. And he deserves it, but $21 million is just way too much money for the production that we got out of him. We only had one good year from DeForest Buckner. Overall, he played really well. Don't get me wrong, but $21 million, in my personal opinion, is just way too much money for Buckner. And keep in mind, signing Eric Armstead was a great move. Most likely, we would have lost DeForest Buckner next year. So we would have picked up his fifth-year option. We would have kept him for another year. He would have played for us. That would have been great. But then we would have lost him and probably got nothing back in return. Now we saved $12 million against the salary cap this year, and we get a top pick in the draft at 13, almost a top 10. I mean, 3 spots away from the top 10. You know what I mean? So, we either trust John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan or we don't. And so far, they've been to the Super Bowl in their 30th year with the team. I begin to tend to trust and keep my faith on John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan and what they're doing. Deborah says, at least we got a first round. Yep. Look at Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins going to the Cardinals from the Texans, and all they got was a second and a player by David Johnson, which he hasn't been the normal David Johnson that we all know that he has been. You know what I mean? Sorry, that was a little bit of a tongue twister. Jason says a D-back. Yep, that's a good yep. Give me a second. Let's see here. Panama says receiver. How you doing? Welcome, Queen. Panama Queen. Welcome to the Niners Sickness Podcast. I believe you're our first time. Welcome. A receiver would not be. You know what? Judy looks like a Julio Jones type of receiver to me. CeeDee Lamb, those receivers, man. I mean, I know that this draft is filled with receivers, but you generally have those 3 to 4 receivers that are in the Julio Jones type of receivers. And prior to DeForest Buckner trade, there was no way we would get a receiver like that. Now we can get a receiver, a game changer receiver, to pair up with a game changer tight end like Kittle, and then imagine Deebo Samuel with him. My goodness, our offense and then our running game. If we can put up a lot of points then we don't have to rely on our defense so much either. And don't get me wrong, we lost to DeForest Buckner, but it's not like our defense is just crap now. Okay, we have Nick Bosa, D Ford, and Eric Armstead going after the quarterback. DJ Jones will most likely take the spot of DeForest Buckner. And if we can put points on the receiver on the offensive side and make Jimmy better, that's the way to go. Absolutely. Debbie says, at least we got a first round pick for Buckner. Arizona stole Hopkins. Yeah. For some reason, which boggles me, the Texans do not like the West because they give players away to the West. They gave Clowney to the Seahawks for hardly nothing. Now they give Hopkins to the Cardinals for hardly nothing. The Cardinals are a team to watch in 2020. That team is going to be is in the rise. They're still not going to be better than our Niners, but they're definitely to keep an eye on. Question by Gus. We have $22 million in cap space now, is what was reported. Now, with $22 million, and we have Eric Armstead already signed. Now we can sign Jimmy Ward. Now we can sign Emmanuel Sanders. We can entertain the thoughts of bringing on Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs. Now, I don't see Stephon Diggs coming to the Niners because Kyle Shanahan does not like the type of personality that Stephon Diggs presents. So I don't see him being a candidate for the Niners, but an Amari Cooper or maybe a top corner, or we can offer money towards Kittle. There's so many ways we can go with the DeForest Buckner, and I understand a lot of you guys, including myself, we fell in love with DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner was one of the top 3 defensive tackles in the NFL, but we have players on our defense. We have Nick Bosa, D Ford, Eric Armstead, DJ Jones, Ronald Blair, and other players that are on that defensive line where we'll miss the presence of a DeForest Buckner. But are we going to tank? Are we going to fall out of the top 5 defensively because we lost DeForest? I don't think so. I really don't. And if we can get a receiver like CeCe Lamb or Judy, or any of those top 5 receivers, or a top corner at 13, we can definitely make our team better. So I understand we all love DeForest Buckner, but do I think it was a bad move? No. I think it was a good move, but because we signed Eric Armstead and everybody knew that in a perfect world, we all want to keep everybody. We want to keep DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead and Bosa and Ford and Santa Claus and Roger Rabbit. We want to keep everybody, right? But in the real world, we can't do that. Money got to get paid. Players need to get paid. So we were on the verge of losing Buckner next year. Why not get a first-round pick for him this year? That's all I'm saying, in my opinion. Panama Queen says, trade the 31st for more picks. Depending what the board shows, depending which player is there at 31, if there's a player that we want to covenant, if there's a guard or a tackle or a safety that we think they can really help our team, then I would say pick that player. But if there isn't, now because we have that 13th pick and we get our stud pick, and I understand that picks do not always plan out on the draft, Solomon Thomas, but we can now afford to trade. I think we were going to trade the 31st pick anyway, but now we can definitely trade that 31st one pick for more picks in the second and third round of this year's draft because we have that 13th pick that we can go out and get a stud player, a game changer that can help us pursue that 6th ring, Lombardi ring. Chase Young, is he still there at third? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to stop you right there, Deborah. Chase Young will not pass the Redskins at number 2 or the Lions at number 3. Yeah, Chase Young, if he gets past this, oh my goodness, I can't even see him get past the third team. But out of the 10th, no way Chase Young is coming at 13. No way. Xavier McKinley, safety at 31. Yeah, Chase Young will be a nice pickup, but yeah, no, I think we have a better chance of getting Joey Bosa this year, which is impossible, than getting Chase Young at 13. No way. He may still go number 1 overall. So no Chase, unfortunately. Evan James, what's up, brother? Welcome to the Niners Sickness Podcast Show, brother. Welcome. We got a corner, and we get a cornerback in the free agency. We can definitely pursue a corner now. I mean, $22 million in cap space is definitely gives us an opportunity to go and explore the option of a corner in free agency. Maybe the kid from the Broncos, Junior. I forgot his name. I don't have the names right now in front of me, but we can definitely proceed in that avenue. Absolutely, Jay. You're not going to be able to see the whole comments of Jason Morales, but I'll go ahead and read it for you guys. He says, my thing is Lamar Jackson and the Ravens go out in the first round and go out the first round 2 years in a row, get a pass, and Jimmy G leads the Niners to the Super Bowl. Mind your ass full time. Excuse me. Let me read that again. You're as a full-time starter in a 1 year, and all of a sudden he's garbage. Miss me with that. Okay, Jason. To your comment, I agree. Lamar Jackson is a little bit more spicy. He's a little bit more, he runs and he passes and he's exciting. He's more exciting, and players love to see that type of running and passing and craziness that Lamar Jackson possesses, and the fan base and the social media love that. Jimmy Garoppolo is a straight up pocket passer. He's not a runner. He's going to hold on to the ball. That's why he gets sacked a lot, because he holds on to the ball because he's waiting for that one receiver to open up. And I agree. He's out on the playoffs. He doesn't make the Super Bowl, as good as he is. And the Ravens was a good team. But here comes Jimmy G, that everybody's downing, but takes the 49ers. And yes, he took the 49ers to the Super Bowl. That defense helped, but Jimmy did a lot. Now, I keep hearing he didn't do much in the playoffs. He didn't, he wasn't asked to pass a lot. But listen, cry me a river, man. I'm tired of hearing that. The run game was phenomenal. The Niners were moving the ball at will against the Minnesota Vikings and against the Green Bay Packers. They were moving the ball on the ground. Why even bother with Jimmy G if you don't have to? And in the Super Bowl, look at the numbers. I don't have the numbers right now, but look at the numbers prior to that whole craziness that happened in the fourth quarter, where we gave up 21 points to the freaking Chiefs and they won the game. Matter of fact, if the Niners would have won the game, Super Bowl, none of this conversation about Jimmy G would have been talked about. Jimmy G would have been MVP, rightfully so. He would have been the great pickup for the 49ers, and he's the upcoming Joe Montana, blah, blah, blah. But because we lost the Super Bowl, and it wasn't completely on Jimmy G's fault, we hear all these commentators. Here comes Tom Brady. Here comes Kirk Cousins. Kyle Shanahan is not happy with with Jimmy Garoppolo and blah, blah, blah. So I'm glad the Niners said no to Tom Brady. And I'm glad that the Kirk Cousins was picked up by the Vikings for 2-year extension. Now, keep in mind, you may say, well, how do you know that Kyle Shanahan didn't want Cousins, but now he can't get him because Cousins signed a 2-year extension? Well, don't you think Cousins would have been talking to Kyle? And if Kyle told Cousins, I want you, you're my guy, do you think Cousins would have signed a 2-year extension? He wouldn't. He would have just became a free agent next season, and the Niners would have picked him up, right? Kyle Shanahan was not talking to Kirk Cousins, wanting him. That's why Kirk Cousins accepted the 2-year extension from the Vikings. Come on, Niners faithful. Be more realistic with that. Paul says Chase Young will go at number 2 to the Skins. I agree. Now, he may go to the Lions at 3 only because I don't know, man. I'm getting the feeling that the Redskins are not happy with their quarterback they picked up last year, Hopkins or Hopkins. I heard he's not a great. He's not too bright. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a quarterback. If they go for a Tua with a number 2 pick, man, and get their if they pull a Arizona Cardinals type of quarterback situation, I wouldn't be surprised. But I do not see Chase Young getting past the Lions at 3 for sure if the Redskins do not take him. Absolutely. Question by Kimo. Try to keep your questions as small as possible. Break them up in pieces if you can, because I can't fit it all into the screen. I can read it myself, but not everybody can read it themselves when I put it on the screen. So, but I'll read what Kimo says. To be honest, what happened today, I agree with it. I know that we lost Buckner, but to get the 13th pick and space, more than likely there's going to be another trade or signing our free agents, or possibly look at free agents for our Niners. I might be wrong, but I got a feeling that there's another big trade coming. Ooh, interesting. That comment from Kimo. Another trade, huh? Give me a possible scenario, Kimo. Type it in the comments. Give me another possible scenario on who do you think we should trade for? Would it be for a corner? Would it be for a guard? Would it be for a receiver? I'm interested to see your perspective, Kimo. My boy Kyle. I appreciate that candid take, brother. Always real. You know what, bro? Kyle, I'm always going to keep it real with you and everybody else. I think for the Vikings right now, the best quarterback is Cousins. Listen, quarterbacks are hard to come by, okay? Quarterbacks are hard to come by. Teams are scrambled. Teams that are not good don't have good quarterbacks. Now, some teams like the freaking Chiefs that they get lucky with a Patrick Mahomes, are blessed. But look at the Colts when they took what's his name? They retired. I can't even think of his name right now. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, Peyton Manning retired," and he left, and the next year they picked up he came out of Stanford. I can't think of his name. You guys put it in the comments for me. Anyway, now he retired young. Right now the Colts are battling not having a quarterback, and they're not winning games. So, as bad as Kirk Cousins is in the playoffs or certain games, he's still the best option for the Minnesota Vikings right now. Maybe you guys draft a quarterback and develop him. Who knows? But right now for the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins is definitely the best option for that team. Many fans may agree with me. They may not. But I think he's a great option for you guys. Carl Benson. I wish you guys the best. Sorry that my team was the team to take your team out of the playoffs. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm sorry because I like you, Ken, Kyle. You're my dude, but I'm not because I'm a Niner fan, and of course I'm not going to go for your team over my team. You know what I mean? So I respect you, brother. I love your team, but I'm glad we dominated in the playoffs. But we lost the Super Bowl, so we're in the same boat as you are. Next comment. Jason says, "Is for the some is if for some reason Chase Young is there? Listen again. Okay, I understand you're hypocritical. You're saying for some reason he's there at 13 to draft him, but I don't see him. Yeah, I'm a big boy, as you can tell. I have a chance to be 180 pounds by the end of this show. Then we drafting Chase Young at 13. It's just not going to happen. Neither one of those two situations is going to happen. I just don't see Chase coming out of the being passed by 5 teams. He's like a Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa didn't go past us in the second pick overall. Can you imagine? Last year we're saying, can Nick Bosa go to whoever was at 13 last year? That would have been ludicrous. You guys would have been pissed at Niner fans if we would have passed up on Nick Bosa, especially him being the rookie of the year and everything that he did for us this year, right? Chase Young will not go past the 3rd. I'll be shocked if he goes to the 4th pick overall. I'll be shocked. Very shocked. Nobody gives DJ Jones any. Oh my goodness! I am so glad you brought up DJ Jones, Paul. I love this kid. Now he gets hurt. Yes, he gets hurt. He's not injury prone. He's gotten hurt. But you're right. Nobody gives DJ Jones that much credit. Now you gotta keep in mind, DJ Jones was a rotational player because we have Buckner in it. I see DJ Jones being more of a starter. Not a rotational player, but a starter. So the way I look at it, I know the way I look at it, I see D Ford at left on the left side pass rusher. I see Eric Armstead next to D Ford as a D tackle, and then I see DJ Jones stepping in for DeForest Buckner, and then I see Nick Bosa on the left side. Those 4 right there are pretty good. Now, I'm not saying DJ Jones is a DeForest Buckner by any means of the imagination, but I think DJ Jones can handle and step into those shoes and do pretty good because he has a supporting cast around him on the outside, in my opinion. Kyle says, there is no way on God's green earth that Young falls to 3rd. How, Kyle? Kyle, tell these guys that you guys have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl in 2020 than Young falling to us at 13. I mean, that would be awesome, but can you imagine D Ford, DeForest, Eric Armstead, DJ Jones, Nick Bosa, and a rotational with Chase Young? Ooh-wee. But yeah, that's not happening. In fantasy football or in your Xbox only would that happen. We got depth on the D-line. Yes, we do, Paul. Yes, we do. Yes. We definitely have depth on the D-line. We have 3 great linebackers that nobody's talking about. Our linebacker core is great. Now, I'm a big fan of Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman back in the day. I got them signed autographs right here on my wall. Big fan of those 2. But I like me a Fred Warner. That kid is special. 54, Fred Warner. I got his jersey. I got to give me a Trey Greenlaw jersey. That kid is special. 57. That kid is special. What a great find in the 5th round. What a great rookie. He's only going to get better. And then we have our boy. I don't need to even mention it. Come on. Our 3 linebackers are great. Okay. We have Sherman still. We have Emmanuel Mosley back there. We have Akil Witherspoon. We have Tart. We have Jimmy Ward, because Jimmy Ward hasn't gone anywhere yet. We still have a very good defense. The offense is good too. The development of Deebo Samuel, that offensive line, George Kittle, but we don't have that true number 1 receiver. Can you imagine if we go after a CeCe Lamb or a Judy, and we pair him up with Deebo, and then we have Kendrick Bourne, and then we have George Kittle, and then we have the running game. Oh my goodness. Now we have a great offense, and we have a great defense. Listen, DeForest Buckner will be missed, but our defense is not going to fall way behind just because we lost him. Ricky, what's up, brother? Welcome to the Niners Sickness Podcast Show. We could have traded Armstead and used that money for Kittle. The thing is, with Armstead, as good as he is for us and our system, and he hasn't really proven much. For the trade value is not high for him. The trade value is I'm pretty sure John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan exploited all avenues. I'm pretty sure they didn't just, we're going to trade DeForest Buckner and we're going to keep Eric. No, they explored all avenues. They tried to trade Eric Armstead. They tried to trade probably D Ford. I'm pretty sure they tried to do whatever they could to better the Niners. And the best thing they were able to get was a 13 overall pick for Buckner. Okay, a much needed first round pick when we're coming into a season with no capital in our draft. Okay, we have no capital. Now we have something to play with, and we get 12 million off the books with DeForest Buckner. There's no way the Niners were going to pay him $21 million per year. Not that he doesn't deserve it, and I'm happy for DeForest Buckner. He's $21 million richer per year. I don't even know what is the signing bonus he got with the Colts. So he's okay, and we're going to be okay. We have a good surrounding cast that can still keep our defense in the top 5. So, D tackles are, in my opinion, are can be replaced much easier than pass rushers. Pass rushers are hard to replace. D tackles, not so much, in my opinion. Please comment below if you disagree. I mean, D-Buck was a beast when he came into the league, but you're right. Kittle is a game changer. Absolutely. Not that I'm right, but absolutely that Kittle is a game changer. Again, Buckner is an elite player, a top 3, top 5 defensive tackle. But Kittle is a game changer. A game changer. Okay. We lose Kittle, we're in trouble. We lose Buckner, not so much. So that's the difference. So I agree. We also have DJ and Blair to fill in the void. Yes, we do. Now Blair is more of a rusher. DJ is definitely a tackle, a D tackle. Melvin, welcome to the Niners Sickness Podcast Show. How you doing, brother? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for your support and joining my show. Your question is, it was hard pill to swallow, but we couldn't pay everybody. Plus, I think we could get a receiver, a really good one. Absolutely, Melvin. The idea that we were able to pay Eric Armstead. Now, people say, well, why did you have to pay Eric Armstead? Why not let go of Eric Armstead and use that money towards DeForest Buckner? But you got to remember, the signing bonus is what hurts us against the salary cap. Okay? So, Eric Armstead took $40 million signing bonus. Buckner wanted somewhere between 70 to 90 million in signing bonus. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. Plus, Eric Armstead, you can use him as a defensive, rotate him as a defensive end or a D tackle. Buckner was mostly a D tackle, a very good one, but a D tackle nevertheless. So, if I had to choose a trade, and plus Buckner demanded a better trade value than Eric Armstead would. So the Niners had to do what they had to do for the best of the interest of the team. I know a lot of Niner fans do not agree with it because a lot of us are very loyal to certain players. We love certain players, and because we love certain players, we get offended or we get hurt if they're no longer on the team. And you got to look at it as a business first and foremost, and then as a team second. Because if you see it as an emotional fan first and not as a business, your heart's going to get broken each and every time when something like this happens. And you get attached. I love players. I love Nick Bosa. I love Kittle. But I don't get attached to players personally because I do know this is a business. And one day you're here, one day you're not. You know what I mean? So take that for what it's worth. Kimo says, with both picks, maybe defensive, secondary, and offensive line. I would love to get a guard with that 31st overall pick, but not with a 13. Not with a 13. I don't see a guard or tackle. Now, I see a couple of tackles that we can go after with a 13 and maybe play him at guard for a season and two until Staley retires and then move him to tackle. But I would prefer to go for wide receiver or cornerback with that number 13 pick overall, if possible. Let's see here. How can I get on the show, brother? Jason Morales, good question. I would love to have people on my show. I have two other permanent co-hosts by the name of Nathaniel. We call him the Boston Hater himself, Nathaniel, and Florida Mike. Those are my two co-hosts. We are three co-host type of show, but we can have up to 4 people on here, so we'll always leave one spot open for a guest. Looking for that permanently number 4 guy to be part of our team. But if you are interested, Jason, please hit me up on my DMs, and I will talk to you after the show, and I'll explain to you how it works, and we can definitely give it a shot, brother. Definitely. Emmanuel, Ken, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the Niners Sickness Podcast Show. How you doing, brother? Your question is, yes, we are going to miss DeForest Buckner, but I understand the business side of things. We can't keep everybody. Absolutely 100%, Emmanuel, 100%. In a fantasy world, we want to keep everybody. But realistically, in the business side, we can't. And again, people can argue, well, why sign Eric Armstead? Why not let him go walk? And we can tie up DeForest Buckner. But it's not as easy as it sounds. A lot of things take place. Don't you think that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan did not exploit all avenues to see what was the best way to go for the San Francisco 49ers? They exploited every possible avenue to see what can we do to make the 49ers better. Okay? And you might say, well, how Niner Beto? How are we better when we lose to Forrest Buckner? Listen, I'm not talking better just in 2020. I'm talking better in 2021, 2022. If we would have lost Buckner anyway next year, and we would have had nothing to show for. This year, at least we get a 13 overall pick in the first round. Let's say we get CC Williams or Judy, and they turn out to be a Julio Jones type of receiver, right? Now the blow of losing Buckner stings a little bit less, right? Now, this receiver, if we do get a receiver or a corner with the number 13, they got to plan out, they got to work out for us. Otherwise, John Lynch made a stupid move, right? But the point is, you can't keep both players because of the finances. They exploited both sides. Do we keep Eric? Do we keep Buckner? Which benefits us in the long run? What can we get a better value from? All those things, I'm pretty sure, took the president in these conversations between them. And they decided that keeping Eric Armstead would have been cheaper, which it was, and letting go of Buckner, which would have cost more, which he did. And what in return could we get for? And we got a 13th overall first-round pick for him. Not bad, John Lynch, not bad. Based on what he had to work with. Okay? Based on what he had to work with is what I'm saying. Good question, Emmanuel. John A. Here's, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the Niners Sickness Podcast Show. Your question. If it wasn't the first-round pick in return, I'll be pissed. But after I realized they got that in cap space, I said it was a brilliant move. I agree with you, John. Absolutely. If they would have not gotten, a lot of people say, well, the Niners should have got a first-round pick, which they did, and maybe a third or a fourth pick. That would have been great coming from the Colts. But if the Colts are not offering that, we got their top 13 pick, which was great. We were able to save $12 million against the cap because we traded him. All that helps. Now, again, people that don't like Buckner leaving the Niners is because they're emotionally tied with him. They are emotionally tied. They are emotionally attached to Buckner. But if you look at it like John Aker said, in the business perspective, you understand why it was done. Now, we have to go out in the draft and make sure that 13th spot that we pick a game changer. If we do, then we'll be in great position for years to come. If we don't, then we'll be having a whole different conversation in that time. So I'm going to read a couple more questions and then I'll get off. I'm having fun with you guys. Listen, with all this craziness that is happening around the world, it is nice to be able to come on here, talk football, try to be a little bit as normal as we possibly can and not worried about what the world is going through. I'm pretty sure once the show is over with, we're going to go back to the reality of the world. So I'm enjoying this conversation with you guys. I'm enjoying you guys being here with me and getting our minds off the real world and talking about our 49ers, which we all love. Jay Madden, how you doing, bro? Welcome to the Niners Sickness Podcast Show. Dude, why did they trade him? Okay, well, we've been talking about that pretty much through the whole show, so you might want to rewatch the show if you came in late. And I'll just brief on it a little bit quickly. We just couldn't afford to keep Eric Armstead and DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner just wanted too much money. $21 million is a lot of money for a D tackle. And we got a first-round pick for him. Now, he would you would have said, well, we could have picked up the fifth-year option and maybe French tag him, but then you got to think about we're going to try to get Kittle signed. We're going to try to get him signed. So can we really afford to use a tag on Buckner and not Kittle? If we use a tag on Kittle, we can't use it on Buckner. we would lose a Buckner and we would have got nothing in return. Getting a number 13 overall pick in the first round for him this year, clearing up $12 million in the cap against the cap space, was brilliant under the situation that we're in. Not brilliant that we lost a top 3 defensive tackle into DeForest Buckner, but because of the situation that we were in, that was the best move to make. Because if we try to trade Armstead, the value was not there for him. Okay. And the way I like to point it out, listen, I'll give you guys the question. You guys can answer in the comments. Okay. What would you rather have? A Eric Armstead at $17 million and the number 13 pick in the first round, or would you rather have DeForest Buckner at $21 million and a controversial 3rd round pick in 2021 or 20 for losing Armstead? I'll take the Eric Armstead in the 13th overall over the 21 million Buckner and a 3rd pick in the draft. Myself. What's up, Christian Craver? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. This coronavirus, I bet, is definitely not slowing this show down for you and your buddies. I appreciate that, brother. You know, the reality of it is slowing a lot of things down. It is affecting a lot of situations, as you all know, unless you've been living underneath a rock. This virus has really taken a toll. But if we can come on here for an hour and a half, keep our minds off the real world and just focus on football, focus on the things that we love, our 49ers, why not? Even if you have to listen to someone like me, it's still better than dealing with a CNN or NBA, whatever you want to do, whatever the news is that are out there, CNN talking about the coronavirus. Who wants to listen to that anymore? So I'm glad you guys are here with me, even if it's for an hour, hour and a half. Emmanuel says, Niners D-line is still going to be one of the top D-lines in the league. Absolutely. 100% do I agree with you. Yes, it was Andrew Luck. Thank you, Christian. That's definitely who it was. I'm going to wrap this up quickly. You guys are amazing. Trade possibility. Solomon Thomas and maybe Goodwin for Boston haters guy. I forget his name. Oh, the guard from the Patriots. I just don't see anybody wanting to take that money from us for Solomon Thomas. Solomon Thomas at this point is a bust. I hate to say this because I had hopes for him. I loved him at Stanford, but he just seems to be a bust, and I just don't see any value in trading for him. Does anybody want to pick up his contract? I just don't see it. Plus, he doesn't count any money against the salary cap this year for us anyway. So we'll give him another chance. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Christopher, how you doing? Welcome to the Niners podcast show. This is Niners family. What's up, brother? Kimo says 13 maybe get a corner. Corner would be nice, or top receiver or top corner would be nice. I just don't see getting a guard at 13. At 31 maybe, but not at 13. This is just an example. I know it probably won't happen. Got you. No, I hear you. That's what this show's for. To talk about scenarios that could happen, probably won't happen. It's all for entertainment. All we do here on this show is entertainment. Yes, we bring to you content. We let you guys know what's going on with the 49ers and all that. It's great. But it's also entertaining. We come to entertain you. So we sit here and we talk about the Tom Brady's and the Kirk Cousins and the crazy stuff like that. even though we don't want it, but we still talk about it because it is something to do in the midst of the craziness that is happening around us, if that makes any sense. What's up, George Dunlop? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the Niner Sickness Show. Good trade with the Colts. See, there's a lot of Niner fans that agree that it's a good trade. There's a lot of Niner fans that don't like the trade. Again, I think if you see it as a business, it was a good trade. If you take it personally, if you're a big Buckner fan, then you look at it as like it was a bad trade. But if we would have kept Buckner for one more year, and let's say he plays even better in 2020 than he did 2019, his money cap's going to go up. He's going to want more money than 21. We couldn't afford that, right? And then we would have got nothing for him. And again, we're not going to franchise tag him over Kittle. Just no way. So I rather sign Kittle than worry about DeForest Buckner and Kittle at the same time, in my opinion. I want Sanders back in corners and depth. I would love to see Sanders back. Now we saving $12 million against the cap. We're at $22 million against the cap. We can definitely sign Emmanuel back if we wanted to. It just depends how much money he wants. What he wants and what we think he deserves are two different spectrums. We just have to come to an agreement if he wants to come back. How am I? I'm doing great dealing with the situation that we're dealing with. But other than that, sporting my 91 Eric Armstead jersey, having the show, enjoying conversations with you and everyone here, and just getting my mind off of the real world, even if it's for an hour and a half, and talk about something that we all enjoy, which is our San Francisco 49ers. Why not? George says, my thing, if you cannot sign anyone, trade and get value. Absolutely. So you're thinking like a business person, and that's what you got to do. You can't be emotional. Okay? If you own a business and you run it by emotions, you're not gonna succeed. You got to take the emotional part out of it, and you got to see what's right, but with what you have to play with. I'm pretty sure John Lynch didn't want to get rid of Buckner. I'm pretty sure Kyle Shanahan didn't want to get rid of Buckner, but they had to make a choice based on what they had to deal with. And to me, they made the right choice. They send someone that wanted $21 million that they were not going to pay to a team that could pay him that, and we got a number one pick. Now we have two number one picks. Okay, prior to today, we only had the 31st, no second round, no third round, no fourth round, 2 fifth rounds, I believe 1 sixth round, and 2 seventh round. That's all we had. Now we have 2 first round picks. Now, yes, we don't have a defensive tackle like DeForest Buckner on our roster, but again, if we utilize that 13th pick overall, and the Niners pick the right player, and that player is successful on our team, then all this will be for nothing. We love Buckner, but man, whoever we picked at 13, man, he just blew it up. We love him. Blah blah blah. Great. If we pick a number 13 and he does not work out for us, then there's going to be a conversation to be talking about, like, man, John Lynch. I still don't think it would have been a bad trade. It would have just been a bad pick at 13 if it doesn't work out. But I still think the trade within itself was something that was best for both parties, for Buckner and for the Niners. Why? We get a 13 overall pick for him, and Buckner gets $21 million a year by the Colts. So it's a win-win for both parties. George says, me too, I want George Kittle. I do too. He's a game changer. George says, I hope he takes less to come back. Are you referring to Kittle or Sanders? Maybe you're talking about Sanders. I hope so too. Let's see here. Kimo says, I like to see Sanders stay and also Ward. With 22 million against the salary cap, I believe we can do both. We can definitely bring both back. I haven't been on Twitter since I've been doing my show, so I don't know what's been going on. But if I had to choose between Ward and Sanders coming back, now that we have that 13 overall pick, I'd rather keep Jimmy Ward. I'd rather keep Jimmy Ward back there on our defense and let go of Manuel Sanders and signing a receiver or picking up a receiver at the 13th spot myself. Many of you like Sanders over Ward. Emmanuel Sanders is a better player than Jimmy Ward, but I think Jimmy Ward right now at safety is a better need, especially with the emergence of Deebo Samuel. But if we keep both, great. If we keep Emmanuel and we let go of Ward, we'll deal with that as well. I really believe that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan definitely has the best interest, obviously, for the 49ers. I want to trade Goodwin and McKinley for draft picks. Well, I know they've been talking to Miami Dolphins about trading Goodwin, and that's a possibility if it hasn't happened already. But I just don't see any trade value for McKinley. Jerick McKinley has no trade value because he hasn't played in the last 2 years. He's been hurt. He's coming off a major injury, 2 major injuries. The best thing that can happen for Jerick McKinley personally is redo his contract, come back to the 49ers on a very friendly 49er contract where he knows the system. He can prove that he is the player that he thinks he still is in our system, and hopefully play great for us. But I just don't see him going to another team. I mean, I just don't see no other teams paying a lot of money for him and taking a chance on him. I just don't. He hasn't done anything since we brought him from Minnesota. He hasn't played for 2 years. He's been hurt. There's no value in a trade for McKinley. There's some value for Goodwin, but not for McKinley, in my opinion. George says, if we don't keep Ward, I would want the safety from LSU at 13 and 13. Okay, now the kid from LSU, I can't think of his name right off the bat. There's no way in the world we're taking him at 13, if that's what you mean. No way we're taking him at 13. Maybe at 31 we can take him. But there's better corners up there at 13 that we can take than let me a second real quick. Let me get some names on here real quick because there's better corners out there and safeties at 13 than there is. I mean, corners, not safeties. The kid from LSU is a great safety, but he misses a lot of. Oh my goodness! The Eagles signed Musgrave to $39 million. Wow, it's going crazy on Twitter right now. Let's see here. 2020 mock draft. I just want to look at a couple of names real quick, guys. Okay, so let's see here. Well, we're at 13, right? Possible players at 13. Okay, so there's CD Lamb receiver. Okay, there is there's C.J. Henderson, corner back, Florida State. He's a good corner. There's Xavier McKinley, safety. That I okay. There is let's see here. There's also AJ Terrell that we can pick at number 31. There's so many avenues to go, but I'm trying to look at the receivers. And what do we have there? Let me ask you guys a question. I would like to get you guys involved in this. If we took a receiver at number 13 overall, what receiver would you like? Comment below. What receiver would you like at number 13? Who would be your receiver? I'm interested to know what receiver you would take at number 13 out of curiosity. Who do you think fixed the system? I don't quite understand that question. Can you give that question to me again? Let's see here. Trying to look at the receivers. Give me a second, guys. Okay. The kid Jerry Jeudy, receiver from Alabama. That's a special kid. I love Jerry Jeudy out of Alabama. Then you have the kid Henry Ruggs, receiver from Alabama as well. That's a possibility at 13. And we already know about CD Lamb. Those are the three top receivers that we can definitely be picking at number 13, in my opinion. George says, I want Chris Harris in free agency. Chris Harris Jr. from the Broncos. I like him. He's up there in age, but he's a good corner. Definitely a good corner. What Tim Harris can do. Okay. I was saying, what cornerback in the draft you think can fix our system? Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. Give me a second. Let's see here. Corners. I may do another show and have this a little bit more friendly for us. The names of players, because I don't have the list with me right off the bat. But the corners that I like and that can be possibly be there for the Niners to take at 13 will be Jeff Kuda. I can't pronounce it. I don't know if I said his name right. Out of Ohio State. He's a junior. That's a good corner possibility of corner at 13 if we got to go corner. If we go corner, give me a second. C.J. Henderson, again from Florida State. That's a good corner to take. That's a game changer. They could change our system. Imagine him being next to Richard Sherman. Not too bad. But I want to look at the receivers. And there's CeeDee Lamb. They can possibly go to the Raiders. And then let me bring up this question real quick, and I'll go back to what I was saying. What about if we lost DeForest Buckner to the Colts for a 13 overall pick, right? Plus, we don't have to pay him. What happens if if we draft Derek Brown? Huh? What if we draft Derek Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn? He's a DeForest Buckner. Derek Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn. It's a player that we can draft with a 13 overall, and we can plug and play. He can just boom. We can put him right in DeForest Buckner spot, and we can chug along. And we didn't have to pay all that money to DeForest Buckner. And we have Derek Brown for 4 or 5 years. That's a possibility, right? What do you guys think? Do you think that's a possibility, getting Derek Brown, defensive tackle from Auburn, at 13th spot? I would like that. I would not be so upset about that. He's going to be gone before 13. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a possibility. Absolutely. There's Jerry Jeudy. And there's Henry Ruggs III, receiver out of Alabama. I like him as well. I'm not too big on T.J. Higgins, even though I'm a Clemson Tiger fan myself. I'm not too big on him because I'm a Clemson fan. Yeah, that's what it is. Let's see here. He is grown man, like that pick. I like that pick. You're talking about Derek Brown, the defensive tackle? Yes, he's a big boy. Putting him right, can you imagine? Eric Armstead, D Ford, Derek Brown, and Nick Bosa. And we don't have to pay the $21 million too. Now, Derek Brown is a kid coming out of college. We don't know if he can transition to the NFL. We already know that DeForest Buckner has been established. But again, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. You know what I mean? All about the money. So I like Derek Brown out of Auburn. I think if we draft him at 13, we can plug and play. And I'm not saying we're not going to miss much in DeForest Buckner, but I think he's an upgrade to DJ Jones. He's a better player than DJ Jones, in my opinion. So, yeah. So, you're right. DJ Jones is coming off an injury. So, if we get a Derek Brown, plug him in at 13, that'll be great. That's a possibility, too. So, there's so many possibilities we can go to, ladies and gentlemen. We're not tied down just 30. I mean, at 31, you don't get a good player. You get a developmental player. A player that may hit or may not hit. Picking at 13, you're still taking risks, but your chances of hitting on a player that is going to be a starter from day one, the odds are greater at 13 than you are at 31. So, but anyway, you guys are awesome. I enjoy talking to you guys. I really enjoy doing my show with you guys, but I've taken enough of your time. I may do another show later on tonight. I may do another show tomorrow. Depending on what happens with the 49ers, I'm going to be keeping my eyes on Twitter. I may come on. So keep your eyes out on Facebook for me. Maybe I'll get my boys, the Boston Hater himself and Florida Mike, to come on here with me. I enjoy coming on here. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you for supporting the Niner Sickness podcast. Do me a favor. Go and follow us on YouTube. Really show your support. Follow us on YouTube. Go to YouTube under Niner Sickness. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when we go live on YouTube. That'll be amazing. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being part of the show. Everybody that participated in this show, you guys are awesome. I am your boy, Niner Sickness, Niner Beto. Have a great, great evening. And remember, no matter what the world is going through, we will surpass this. We will get through this. We will move on and be a better world. So don't be stealing all the toilet paper. Don't be taking all the sanitizer. Let some people buy some toilet paper, okay? You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Last question from George. What did George say here? Right. If we go after receiver, I want to do from Alabama, or okay. So you want Derek Brown from the Auburn, or you want Jerry Jeudy from Alabama? One of those two cats. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. This is what is this? This show is awesome. Thank you, Kimo. You're one of the faithfuls, man. I appreciate you, brother. Do me a favor, follow us on Facebook. For those that are not following us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube. And also share the video. Share this video. Share it on other Niner groups so that this can grow even more. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you. And stay strong. Stay committed. We'll talk to you soon. I'm out. Peace.